Good evening and welcome to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. I'm your host, and my guest this evening is Craig Semple, who's the athletic director for the town of Madison. Craig, welcome. How are you?
Hi, Pete.
Hi, how are you? Good to see you.
Thank you.
Welcome. So, Craig, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, like you said, I am the director of athletics for the town of Madison. I'm in charge of all the athletics for the schools.
Okay.
Primarily the middle school and the high school. My office is located in the high school, and so I'm in charge of athletics 5 through 12. It's a big program.
Yeah.
Just at the high school alone, with 37 programs,
Wow.
about 120 teams.
Oof.
Yeah, a lot of coaches.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so.
A lot of coaches. I'm sure you get to deal with a lot of different personalities.
Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly.
no.
I was thinking that today. Lots of different personalities, and some coaches do things some way,
Yep.
coaches do the other thing, and my job is to serve them all. So,
Exactly.
so that is my primary responsibility.
You like it?
Oh, I love it. I love it. It's exhausting.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I'm out every night of the week, but once I'm there,
Yep.
I love it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just sometimes, I got to go to this event or that event or this event. But once I'm there, I really enjoy watching it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, you guys have a heck of a football program at the high school.
We do. In the last 2 years, I believe I've only lost 2 games
Yeah.
under Coach Mastriani. Actually, last 3 seasons, they have won 37 games and lost 2 games. So
Oh, wow.
they won back-to-back state titles and just came up a little short this year. Lost by a field goal to a really good team out of Trumbull, St. Joe's.
Yeah.
But really proud of the kids. They had a great year, great coaching staff.
Yeah.
And those guys work really hard, all year round.
Absolutely. Big coaching staff or medium
Well,
size?
we got 7. We have 7 paid coaches, but he's got about another 7 volunteers. So
Okay.
got about 14 coaches total in the
Nice.
program. Yeah.
What type of guy is your football coach like?
Our head coach, very, very meticulous, very detail-oriented. He really uses time to his advantage. I would say that kids he gets the maximum out of them in the smallest amount of time. And he carries on all the traditions that Coach Filippone and Coach Ciotti had.
Oh, yeah.
But he kind of puts his own little signature to it, his own little twist to it.
Okay.
He does a really good job at connecting with the kids, just like Coach Filippone and Coach Ciotti. And he's a modern day guy, he's really innovative with a lot of his play calling and things that he does, and he's got a tremendous relationship with the kids.
Yeah.
He does a lot of little things that high school coaches don't do. He has an SAT prep program. He gets these kids ready. We have lots of college coaches in our building, and essentially if you want to play college football, he will find a place for you. So.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, so he gets kids into some fantastic schools, so.
I've never met Larry Ciotti.
Oh, he's a legend.
Good guy?
Oh, the best.
Is he?
The best. He is the primary architect behind the rebuilding of the surf club at
Yep.
Strongfield.
Oh,
If
absolutely.
it wasn't for him, it wouldn't have gotten done.
Wow.
His influence and the people he knows and how he goes about things was tremendous. So
Yeah.
he's the primary reason why they did that $5 million project. And the architect duo Dickinson.
Exactly.
But I would say that Larry was huge.
And one thing I can tell you from being down at the surf club, watching football games, it gets cold.
It gets cold.
If the wind gets whipping, it gets
Definitely.
frigid.
That's the home field advantage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But it is beautiful too.
It is.
It is beautiful.
Beautiful field.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of coaches and people, you and I have some common friends.
Like, for example?
Like, for example, Steve Filippone and Peter Nye.
Of course, yeah. They both
I don't know if you want to get up and leave now.
Oh, no.
Because I'm associating myself with those two.
Oh, those guys are great.
Oh,
Pete
they're awesome.
and Steve are in my building.
Okay, yeah,
Pete's
that's
department,
right.
yeah, he's department head of social studies.
Yeah.
And obviously he's the football coach of the Morgan
Yep.
School. And Steve jumped on board and helped him out
Yes.
as an assistant. And Steve's one of my best friends also. So those two guys are probably some of my closest friends at the school.
Exactly.
But I really don't have any friends.
No, of course not.
Because I'm in a position where I don't have any friends.
Exactly, because you're an athletic director.
Exactly.
And people think, oh, he's an athletic director. You're big.
I'm hands off. Yeah.
You're scary, and it's
exactly.
Like,
no, I'm human. Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, you also oversee the sports programs at the middle school.
Right.
What are the
well, that's not as big. That's not as big of a program. In the fall, we have soccer.
Right.
We have cross-country running.
Right.
And that's maybe one or two. I can't remember.
All right.
We only have about 12 or 13 sports for the middle school.
Exactly.
But it's a good lead up, to compete against the schools in the Southern Connecticut Conference that have middle school programs.
Right.
So they get to know those kids and get to know how good they are because they compete against them. We don't compete. It's interesting. We don't compete against the shoreline. It would be a lot easier to have a middle school program that competed in the 15-mile radius of the shoreline. We really just we compete with the feeder schools of the SEC.
Exactly.
So that the kids are getting ready to compete against some really good competition when they get to high school.
I was going to say, in the way that you guys compete with all the different schools, you guys don't compete with Morgan at all.
No. We're primarily Southern Connecticut Conference.
Right.
It's a conference made up of 21 schools. Very competitive.
Wow.
It's
big conference.
It's a medium sized. I would think it's like, I think it's the second or third biggest conference in the state.
Okay.
You have that big mega conference up in the CCC with 32 teams, but then you have the SCC, and then I think it goes FCAC and so forth and so on. But good conference.
Yeah.
Han did really well these past 10 years. I kind of compiled some data. We competed in 60 state championships this past 10 years.
Wow.
We won 32. We were finalists 28 times in 12 different sports. So that's very comprehensive.
Wow, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah. So kids work hard.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
Great group of coaches.
Absolutely.
And they all feed off each other. So, it helps. In 2019, Han was the recipient of the Vantage Cup. You familiar with that?
No, what is that?
That is a quantifiable means of gathering data to determine how well a team has done in the state tournaments.
Okay.
So what it does is it awards points for how well you've done in every round of the state playoffs, and you get points as you progress for every single CIAC sponsored sport. Last year, we got over 1,300 points as the #1 athletic program in the state.
Wow,
that's pretty big. I mean, we were competing against Greenwich and Darien and New Canaan. So little town of 17,800 does pretty well.
It does.
Yeah.
It does definitely pretty well.
And we're just a public high school.
Right.
We're not private. We're not recruiting from different towns or anything like that. So.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
So let's tell us a little bit about some of the other high school sports programs that are pretty popular in Madison.
Well, right now in the winter season, our girls basketball program is off to a really good start.
Okay.
They're 5-2. They had a big win last night against Lyman Hall. Our hockey team's undefeated. They're 6-0. Our girls hockey team just had a big win tonight against Notre Dame of Fairfield. Our gymnastics team is traditionally is a powerhouse.
Yeah.
They opened up their season last night against Foreign. They defeated them. Our boys basketball team is a little bit of a rebuilding year this year, but he's had some statement wins. We were up against Wilbur Cross the other night, and we were up by 7 at the half, so we ran out of gas a little bit, but kids played really well. We had a really great win against Guilford the other night. We played a doubleheader. So gym was packed, probably 1,500 kids, 1,500 people there.
Wow.
And our girls played early, our boys play after, and we were fortunate. We'd won both games. So
nice.
That's our rival,
Yeah.
Guilford, but we have really good games with Guilford in soccer. in basketball, baseball, softball, field hockey. Yeah, so those sports are big sports, and lacrosse, boys and girls lacrosse. So we're really even. You know, we're pretty close. They're pretty close to us in those sports. So, you know, those are big games for our town.
Would you mind sticking around for another segment?
Sure.
We'll be right back.
Get it. Get it.
Get it.
Get it.
Get it.
Is she gonna get it, Daddy?
She'll get it. Get it. Get it.
When you bring home a Goodwill find, you give your whole town a reason to celebrate because you're also funding local job training and placement programs in tech, healthcare, and more. Goodwill. Bring good home.
And welcome back to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. Sitting here with Craig Semple, who's the athletic director for the town of Madison. Craig, welcome back.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, Craig, we were talking about right before the break, boys and girls hockey in Madison. Let's open up the segment talking about how good they are. And
our boys are doing really well. They're undefeated.
Okay.
They defeated a team tonight 7-1, so they're undefeated. They're 6-0. And our girls also had a big victory today at 4 o'clock. They played Notre Dame at Fairfield, and they have 3 wins under their belt, so they're about 500.
Okay.
Yeah. So the boys' team is exclusively Madison kids, the kids that go to hand.
Right.
The girls' team, I would say 85% of the girls are rostered are Madison girls, and we got maybe 1 or 2 kids from Coggin-Chog, maybe 1 kid from Old Lyme, and, and 1 girl from Valley Regional.
Okay.
So the girls program is a non-CIAC sports sponsored program, so we could draw kids from different towns and give them opportunities to play.
Gotcha.
And we're trying to grow, you know, you're trying to grow the sport
absolutely.
for girls hockey, so you want to give them those opportunities.
Absolutely.
With the goal of them going back to their own high school and getting enough kids together and potentially having their own team. But it's really hard, and obviously it's a very expensive sport. You know, ice time alone is tens of thousands of dollars.
I was going to say ice time alone probably is not cheap.
No.
No.
You got to be transported there. You got your ice time. You got your officials. You got to pay the coach. Yep. It's a 6-figure deal. To have hockey at your school, it's a 6-figure budget.
Oh
item.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't realize it was.
Yeah.
It was that.
You add everything all up, absolutely.
Wow.
But our parents contribute
absolutely
a significant amount of money to that program, which we wouldn't be able to do it without them.
No. And you said that they play in Northford?
Northford. Yep, they play at the Northford Ice Arena. It's about 40 minutes away.
Right.
I take lots of cold, dark trips this winter there.
Nice facility?
It's beautiful.
Is it?
It's beautiful. They have 3 rinks, big concession stand.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's nice.
Excellent.
Yeah, the kids get excited.
Yeah.
Our boys team last year went to the semifinals.
Oh, wow.
And you know, when you make it to the semifinals, you play at Ingles Rink, you know, the
New
Whale.
Haven.
Yeah. And that's a great treat for the kids to be able to play at Yale. It's, you know, people don't realize in general the unbelievable facilities that Connecticut has for its high school athletes. I know we play in a lot of them. We've played at the Rent. We've played at the Quinnipiac. We've played at Ingles Rink. Yeah. We've played at Mohegan Sun. So our kids have played in some top-notch arenas.
Absolutely.
You think about nationally, teams from all over the nation come to Mohegan Sun or to Yale or to the Rent or to Quinnipiac. We've played in all of them, our high school kids.
And
And we play at the Webster Center to our boys basketball team. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They play down in Bridgeport.
Yeah.
Okay.
We played in the Martin Luther King Classic down there a couple of years ago. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was going to say.
You're lucky. I never got to play in any of that.
No, definitely. Obviously, you played sports growing up. What'd you play?
I was a swimmer.
Okay.
And a baseball and a football player.
Oh, nice.
And played a little recreational basketball, but
There you go.
you know,
What I was actually doing last spring. I was doing a story, and we went up to Quinnipiac, and they took us on. We got a tour of the facility up there,
it's gorgeous.
where especially that the ice hockey arena is directly across the hall
Yeah.
from the basketball court.
Yeah, you never see that.
No, and I was talking to. I had a photographer with me, and we just went up because we had some time to kill, and we walked in, and one of the security guys was like, "The doors are open if you want to walk in and
Check it out."
And the women's hockey team for Quinnipiac was practicing, and the coach was like, "You guys," she saw us standing up top, and she was like, "You guys can come down and watch if you want." And we also observed the basketball team practicing, and the basketball coach was like, "You guys don't have to stand there. You guys can come down and
Yeah, they're really nice.
make yourself at home."
Yep.
I'm like, "All right, excellent."
In fact,
very nice facilities.
Yeah, at Quinnipiac this year,
Yeah.
the SEC was going to have their championship boys and girls game there.
Nice.
Yeah, so
Excellent.
that's exciting.
Wow.
A couple of years back, we played in it. Played Mercy in Quinnipiac. Our girls got a chance to play there. It was great.
Yeah.
So
How's Mercy basketball doing this year?
they're a little down this year.
Yeah?
Yeah, they're down this year, but they won't be down for too long. You know?
No.
Coach Coase gets them going. You know.
Now, as far as who are some of the teams that you guys play in Madison as far as rivals?
Our big rival obviously is Guilford.
Yeah.
Cheshire's another one.
Oh yeah.
Very similar type of athletic program. I would say depends on the sport, you know, but you know, Amity in some sports is pretty big rival. Brantford's a pretty big rival,
Yep.
and you know they're excellent in hockey. You know, their boys hockey team is excellent.
Yeah.
You know, it really depends on the sport. But I would say primarily Guilford is our main rival. You know, so. You know, their community is very similar. They have really good athletes.
They do.
Good coaches and gorgeous facilities.
Yeah.
You ever see their new high school?
No, I haven't.
It's like the Taj Mahal. It's beautiful.
No, is it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
$92 million, taxpayers. Yeah. But it's nice. It looks like a small college.
I was going to say I've also never been to where you are in Madison, but I guess I'm going to have to come up and visit.
You got to come visit. It's a beautiful school.
I guess we're going to have to come.
Great campus. You know, we're lucky to get to work with those kids in Madison.
Yeah.
But like I said, in the Morgan School is gorgeous.
Oh, absolutely.
Gorgeous.
Absolutely.
I live in Clinton.
Yeah.
And I like Clinton a lot.
Yeah, me
Great
too.
people.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, and the school is beautiful, and so I get the best of both worlds.
Absolutely. And during football season, I do social media for Morgan football, and I do social media for Morgan boys lacrosse. So during football season and the spring when we do lacrosse season, I basically live at the high school besides after work. It's like...
You got a lot of football players that also play lacrosse?
Oh, yeah. A couple.
Same. Yeah, those two sports are married up
absolutely.
quite a bit.
Absolutely.
But we got a long road with the winners. We just got started. So
I know.
It's a long season.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a long season until spring season starts. It's
Yeah.
Like, oh, my God.
We go all the way into March.
Oh, yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah. I think lacrosse season starts in...
28th of March.
Okay. I was going to say, I don't even think the CIAC's come out with they haven't finalized.
So you got the inside track now. So first day of practice for lacrosse is March 28th.
Okay. All right. I was going to say CIAC.
No, I'm sorry. The week before that
okay.
is that Saturday before is the first day.
Okay.
The 28th is our first scrimmages, yeah.
Oh, nice. I was going to say they haven't even I don't think they finalized the lacrosse schedule yet.
Probably not.
I'm going to say no.
They don't have to do that until February 8th.
Oh, okay. And then, so how is it when you're sanctioned by the CIAC? How does that work?
Well, the CIAC has nothing to do with scheduling.
Okay.
Okay, which is like a lot of people believe that they have a big part of that. They are the governing body for the rules.
Right.
So you have to follow a set of certain rules. You know, big rules like the big rule that I'll talk about is called the out-of-season limitations.
Okay.
So in the summer, when you have nothing going on, we call it a dead period.
Yes.
Your coaches are not supposed to work with you directly with the sport.
Okay.
I mean, you could do strength and conditioning till the cows come home.
Right.
But you're not supposed to work on the specific skill progression of the sport. And I can tell you that I'm a big proponent of getting rid of that rule.
Okay.
Because I feel like I would rather have our coaches that are vetted, that our kids have relationships with, our parents trust our coaches, be able to work with our coaches directly in the summer instead of going to all these camps and clinics and showcases where they really don't know those people. I'd rather have all that going on at our own high school with our own vetted coaches, and I'd like to get rid of that so that our kids are building those relationships in the summer with the high school coach. Yeah. Because once the season begins, you're on the fly. You don't have
absolutely.
You don't have that kind of time.
No.
You might have 10 minutes, you might have 5 minutes here and there, you know, to get to know every single kid. Sometimes it takes quite a long time.
Right.
If you had that summer to build those relationships, you can get to know the kids a lot better.
Absolutely.
And then you can work on the little details of the game and get the kids ready. In my feeling, the kids would get less injuries would occur.
Absolutely.
Because I feel like the kids are rushed.
Yeah.
You know, to get ready, and they're going full speed because they're competing against each other, and they're competing for positions. And the tendency is that they're going to do things that are a little unorthodox or a little bit too quick instead of building up the skill progression as you go along. So people know I'm a big proponent of eliminating the season's limitations in the summer. That's a CIAC rule. CIAC knows I'm in favor of finding some sort of middle ground.
Right.
The state of Connecticut is the most restrictive state in the country for all the governing bodies throughout the nation. So we feel like there's a time for a change. So that's essentially what CIAC does. There's a lot of rules, though. I mean, the book is this big.
Yeah, I've never seen the book, but I've heard about the book.
Yeah, I mean, it's online, but
yeah.
I mean, they don't even print it anymore. It's so big, and it changes so much they don't print it. But
oh, really?
You got to be very familiar with it. So, you know, as the athletic director, that's a big part of your responsibility.
Absolutely.
You have to know the national rules that come down to those are the federal rules that come down to the state rules, and then they come down to the local, and you got to know them because you know, your community expects you to know what's going on.
Oh, absolutely.
And as far as scheduling goes, that's done all in the league.
Okay. So
all your league stuff is all done within whatever organization you're part of. Yep. Like the Morgan School, for example, is the Shoreline. Yeah. So those principals and athletic directors sit and meet, and they figure out all their schedules. Yep. And they're all formulas, depending upon the sport. Right. And the SCC is our league. And they're all different formulas and different mathematical equations to make sure you have the right competitive matchups. Right.
And we actually, at the Morgan School in Clinton, we actually have a new athletic director.
Yes, I heard. I haven't met him yet, but yeah, I knew Kevin Rail. Actually, I coached for Kevin Rail in Waterbury. I coached his track team when he was the athletic director at Sacred Heart High School. So
you coached for Kevin? Wow, I didn't know that. Yeah. Wow.
I coached for him. And actually, if you ever talk to Kevin, I knew him he knew me when I was about 5 years old. He's a neighborhood guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm a Waterbury guy. He was a neighborhood guy. He knew me. He knew my whole family since I was a little guy. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Sure. Yeah. Yep.
So do you have how long have you been athletic director in Madison?
In Madison, I started in 2004, so I don't know. You can do the math. About 16 years or so. Wow. This is my, counting private school, this is my either 29th or 30th year as an educator.
Okay. Oh, you started in the private sector?
Yeah, I did 3 years in the private sector. I started in I started like in 1989.
Okay.
So 1989, 1990 was my first.
Wow.
Yeah, so how many years is that, Pete? That's a lot.
It is. It is a lot.
I'm not that old.
No, you're not. And where'd you start?
I started teaching in Waterbury at 3 parochial schools.
Okay.
If you ever watch the news, you see the double steeples, St. Anne's Church.
Yeah, yeah.
That's my first school I ever taught.
Oh, wow.
I also taught at St. Pete's in Waterbury, which was loaded with really good athletes from Waterbury. And then I taught at St. Francis in Naugatuck.
Oh, wow.
And then I went into the Waterbury public school system and started teaching. And my first year there was 93. And I did 10 years there. Then I went up to New Fairfield, right near Danbury. I was the athletic director there. And then from there I came to Madison.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pretty good
This
run.
is it. Yeah, this is it though.
This is it.
Yeah, but this is my last stop. Yeah.
And you're done.
No, I'll do something else. I'll do something else. Something that doesn't require so much time.
Exactly.
But somewhere along the lines of in the humanities, in the human development field.
Exactly.
But maybe something like, I don't know, who knows?
Yeah.
Something where I can help somebody.
There you go. Yeah. Craig Semple, thanks for coming down.
My
we'll
pleasure.
see you soon.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
You too. On behalf of Craig Semple, I'm Pete Mezzetti. Thanks. Good night. We'll see you next time.
Good.